Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. Today's video, we are in TryHackMe. This is the Cybersecurity 101 learning path. This is the Defensive Security module, and this is the Incident Response Fundamentals room. Learn how to perform incident response in cybersecurity. Hopefully, y'all are having an awesome day today and ready to learn. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Task 1, Introduction to Incident Response. Imagine living in a heavily insecure street with many expensive things in your home. You must be thinking of having a security guard and a few CCTV cameras in your home. Hiding the expensive material inside a hidden underground room is a good idea if an intruder successfully enters the house. These are the things that you plan for the safety of your home even before any attack occurs. Besides these proactive measures, did you ever consider how things would work if someone successfully bypassed your external security mechanisms and gained access to your home? You must also take several other measures after your home is attacked. Let's take the above into the digital realm. You may have heard about a cyber attack on any organization that caused them to lose thousands of dollars. Several such cases are reported daily on the internet. These are referred to as cybersecurity incidents. Just as in the scenario above, where you planned for the security of your home, cybersecurity incidents also need some planning and resources to avoid huge losses. And that's absolutely true. Incident response handles an incident from its start to end, from deploying security in several areas to prevent incidents to fighting with them and minimizing their impact. Incident response is a thorough guideline. This room will help you understand the critical concepts of incident response and give you a chance to solve your incident practically. Learning objectives. Overview of what are incidents and their severity levels, common types of incidents, phases of incident response from SANS and NIST frameworks, tools for incident detection and response, along with the role of playbooks, incident response plan. It says room prerequisites. They recommend that you check out Intro to Defensive Security if you haven't done already. So we've already read through this. Task number 2, what are incidents? Several different processes run on your computing devices, examples, laptops, mobile devices, etc. Some of these processes are interactive, meaning you perform the actions, examples, playing a game or watching a video. There will also be some non-interactive processes running in the background that may not require your interaction with them. They are just necessary for your device. Both of these types of processes generate several alerts or several events. Anything they do, an event is logged for what they have done. It says events are generated in huge numbers regularly. This is because many processes run on a device, each performing different routine tasks, generating numerous events. These events can sometimes point to something terrible going on in your device. How do we check these vast numbers of events and see if they point to some destructive activity? There are security solutions in place to solve this problem. These events are ingested into the security solutions as logs, and these security solutions can find harmful activities in them. This made our job way more easier. But wait a minute, the real challenge is after the security solution points these activities out. There's examples of what they're talking about here. You have several processes right here, explorer.exe, lsas.exe, et cetera, and generating events, which are going to your security solution, right, which would probably be your SIM or what have you, and then it's generating an alert based off what you have set up inside of your SIM, like rules, stuff like that, right? It'll trigger an alert, and then it'll go to the security team, which is you. So when a security solution finds an event or group of the events associated with a possible harmful activity, it triggers an alert. The security team then analyzes these alerts. Some of these alerts may be false positives, while some would be true positives. The alerts that point to something dangerous but are not harmful are referred to as false positives. In contrast, the alerts that point to something harmful and are actually dangerous are called true positives. You can get a better understanding of this from the example below. So a false positive, a security solution raised an alert on a high amount of data being transferred from one system to an external IP address. Upon analyzing this alert, the security team found that the subject system was undergoing a backup process to a cloud storage service, which caused this. This is known as a false positive. True positive, a security solution raised an alert on a phishing attempt on one of the organization's users. Upon analyzing this alert, the security team found that the email was a phishing email sent to this user to compromise the system. This is known as a true positive. These true positive alerts are sometimes referred to as incidents. Assuming the alert is now categorized as an incident, the next phase is to give a severity level to the incident. Imagine you are part of the security team and get multiple incidents simultaneously. Which incident would you choose to respond to first? This is where the idea of incident severity helps. Incidents can be categorized as low, medium, high, or critical based on the impact that you can create. Critical severity events are always the higher priority, followed by high severity, and so on. So you see an example here. Incident, false positive, alerts, discard. All right, if it's an incident, it goes to several different categories they specified here, right? All right, answer the questions below. What is triggered after an event or group of events points to harmful activity? Well, we know that's going to be an alert, as explained up here, what they were talking about. Um, that's specific criteria for an alert. Next one says, if a security solution correctly identifies a harmful activity from a set of events, what type of alert is? Well, that's going to be a true positive, as explained here in the true positive section here. If a fire alarm is triggered by smoke after cooking, is this a true positive or false positive? Well, it's going to be a false positive, right? Because if it was a true positive, then it would be an actual fire inside of wherever area you're at, right? So inside your building, you got some fire going on and the fire alarm is triggered, then that would be a true positive. All right, task number 3, types of incidents, and let's see what we're cooking with here. People usually label every harmful activity associated with the digital world as a hacking attempt. This may be correct, but it is very generic in terms of cybersecurity. Security incidents can be of different types. In the above task, we saw an example of a true positive alert, which became an incident after the analysis of the security team. This incident was related to the phishing email, which probably came with a malicious attachment. If downloaded into the system, this attachment may have harmful consequences. This is one of the type of event or incident. There are several other types of incidents. These types can occur independently or altogether within the same victim. Malware infections. Malware is a malicious program that can damage a system, network, or application. The majority of incidents are associated with malware infections. And there are different types of malware, each with a unique potential to cause damage. Malware infections are mostly caused by files that can be text, documents, executables, etc. Security breaches. Security breaches arise when an unauthorized person gets access to confidential data, something we don't want them to see or have. Security breaches are of the utmost importance, as many businesses rely on their confidential data, which must only be accessible to authorized personnel. Data leaks are incidents in which confidential information of an individual or organization is exposed to unauthorized entities. Many attackers use data leaks for reputational damage to their victims or use a technique to threaten their victims and get what they need from them. Unlike security breaches, data leaks can also be unintentionally caused by human errors or misconfigurations. Insider attacks. Incidents from within an organization are known as insider attacks. Think about a disgruntled employee infecting the whole network through a USB on his last day. This is an example of insider attack. Someone within an organization intentionally initiating an attack comes under this category. These attacks can be hazardous, as an insider always has greater access to resources than an outsider. Denial of service attacks. Availability is one of the 3 pillars of cybersecurity. Defensive security solutions and people constantly find ways to protect information. They ensure that the data is available to the people simultaneously. This is because there is no point in protecting something that is unavailable to us. Denial of service attacks or DOS attacks are incidents where the attacker floods a system network application with false requests, eventually making it unavailable to legitimate users. This happens due to the exhaustion of resources available to entertain the request. All these incidents have their unique potential to impact the victims negatively. These incidents can not be compared in terms of severity of the impact they create. This is because a particular incident can be disastrous for one organization while it can be minor damage to another. For example, XYZ Corp may not be heavily impacted by a data leak, as the information it stores can be useless to anybody else. However, it can undergo a massive loss in case of denial of service attack on its primary website, as its services depend on that website. Okay, question time. A user's system got compromised after downloading a file attachment from an email. What type of incident is this? Well, that's going to be a malware infection, as we read about up here when I was talking about malware infections, right? Talking about different files, stuff right here. Okay, and it says, what type of incident aims to disrupt the availability of an application? Well, we just read about that. So that's going to be DOS, or denial of service attack, right? Task number 4, incident response process. In the above task, we saw different types of incidents, sometimes handling a variety of incidents and environment can be difficult due to the distinct nature of incidents in an organization. There should be structured process for incident response. Incident response frameworks help us in this regard. These are the generic approaches to follow in any incident for effective response. We will discuss the two widely used incident response frameworks, SANS and NIST. SANS and NIST are popular organizations contributing to cybersecurity. SANS has offered various courses and certifications in cybersecurity, and they are very expensive. These are probably one of the most expensive certifications out there, costing an arm and a leg. And NIST played its role in developing standards and guidelines for cybersecurity. Both SANS and NIST have quite similar incident response frameworks. The SANS incident response framework has 6 phases, which are called picaral, I guess, to remember them easily. Okay, so I'm not going to read through all these here, but let's just go over a little bit of these. Preparation, this is the first phase. Preparation phase includes building the necessary resources to handle an incident. These resources include developing incident response teams, having a proper incident response plan in place, and deploying necessary security solutions to combat the incidents. Example, conducting awareness training for employees or on phishing emails. Phishing emails are fraudulent emails sent by attackers or malicious attackers that can trick you into performing actions that can lead to an incident. Identification, the identification phase refers to looking for any abnormal behavior that can indicate an incident. This involves using various security solutions and techniques to monitor abnormal events. And you have the example here. The security team notices a huge amount of data being sent out from one of the hosts. Upon analysis, it was found to be compromised after a malicious file was downloaded from a phishing email attachment. All right, and you can see the rest here. You got containment, eradication, recovery, lessons learned. So be sure to pause the video and thoroughly read through this table here to understand the steps and different phases of SANS incident response framework. Because you may come across this in your career. If you're going to work on the blue team, you might be doing some incident response stuff or working in the SOC or something like that. Or you may be asked this in an interview question to walk through the process of responding to X incident or whatever. All right, so here is a graphic of what they're talking about here. And then also, here's another example here. The incident response framework of NIST is similar to SANS framework we studied above. The number of phases in this framework is reduced to 4. So they only have preparation, detection, analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery, and post-incident activity. Okay, kind of similar to, how we have the OSI model, right? And we have the TCP/IP model, right? So they teach the same concepts of what's going on, but just in a different way, displayed in a different way, right? So here's a comparison of both right there. You can see containment, eradication, recovery, and SANS are separated in different phases, but in NIST, it's all in one phase, as you can see there. Since organizations may derive their incident response processes by following these frameworks, every process has a formal document listing all the relevant organizational procedures, hopefully. The formal incident response document is called the incident response plan. The structured document underlines the approach during any incident. It is formally approved by senior management and consists of the procedures to be followed before, during, and after an incident has been completed. The key components of this plan include, but are not limited to, roles and responsibilities, incident response methodology, communication plan with stakeholders, including law enforcement, escalation paths to be followed. Of course, you're going to need to test this out if you're not regularly, um, having incidents. Which hopefully you're not having incidents every day or so, whatever. But anyway, you should at least test your incident response plan, regularly in your environment so that you know that it works. And if it doesn't, then you know where you need to fix things. Don't wait till the last minute to when an actual incident happens because you're going to be scrambling and trying to resolve the incident. But anyway, let's continue on. The security team disables a machine's internet connection after an incident. Which phase of the SANS IR lifecycle is followed here? Well, that's going to be containment, right? Since they're disabling certain functionality, or they are basically quarantining off that machine from anything else, the external world, what have you, external networks, what have you. Which phase of NIST corresponds with the lessons learned phase of SANS IR lifecycle? And that's going to be the post-incident activity. All right, as we're taking a look here, lessons learned, post-incident activity. Okay, same thing, just have it in a different word for it, right? So let's see here. I've also seen this called like post-mortem report or something like that. Task number 5, incident response techniques. So let's see what they're talking about here. Remember, we studied the second phase of the incident response lifecycle, identification in SANS, and detection and analysis in NIST. It is very hard to look for abnormal behavior and identify incidents manually. There are multiple security solutions that serve their own unique roles in detecting any incidents. Some of them even have the capability to respond to the incidents and exclude the other phases of the lifecycle, such as containment, eradication, etc. A brief explanation of some of these solutions given below. So you have the SIM, which is the Security Information Event Management solution, collects all important logs in one centralized location and correlates them to identify incidents. AV, antivirus, detects known malicious programs in a system and regularly scans your system for these EDR. Endpoint detection response is deployed on every system, protecting it against some advanced level threats. This solution can also contain and eradicate the threats. Okay, a lot of times these days you'll find EDR or next gen AV, bundled together in whatever solution you determine to buy. Let's see here. After incidents are identified, can certain procedures must be followed, including investigating the extent of the attack, taking necessary actions to prevent further damage, and eliminate it from the root. These steps can be different for different kinds of incidents. In this scenario, having step-by-step instructions to deal with each kind of incident helps you save a lot of time. These types of instructions are known as playbooks. Playbooks are the guidelines for comprehensive incident response. Following is an example of a playbook for an incident phishing email. So you have all these steps here. So let's see here. First step is notify all stakeholders of the phishing email incident. Two, determine if the email was malicious by conducting header and body analysis of the email. Three, look for any attachments with the email and analyze them. Four, determine if anybody opened the attachments. Five, isolate the infected machines from the network. Six, block the email sender. Obviously, this is going to be different for whatever organization you're going to work for. Okay, this is just a general overview, right? So, like for an organization in the past I've worked for, right, notify all stakeholders of the phishing incident. This wouldn't even be the first one. This would probably be near the end, right? If something did occur from that phishing email, if there's some kind of malware infection and then it spread to other machines or what have you, or someone's credentials got compromised and was used to conduct malicious activity in the network. Okay, so it's going to vary based on whatever organization you're at. Runbooks, on the other hand, are detailed step-by-step execution of specific steps during different incidents. These steps may vary depending on the resource available for the investigation. Now, runbooks, I've seen some, there's a solution out there called SOAR. Okay, so it can basically allows you to create playbooks inside of there, and then inside these playbooks, you have these runbooks, right, that you can automatically launch different kinds of searches or whatever, different kinds of actions to help you out in your investigation process, help speed up things, what have you. It says step-by-step comprehensive guidelines for incident response is known as what? Playbooks, as we just read about here. And let's see, task number 6, we're going to talk about lab work incident response scenario. In this task, you will initiate an incident by downloading an attachment from a phishing email. The attachment is malware. Once you download the file and an incident begins, you will now start investigating the incident. The first phase is to see how many hosts are infected with the same file, as there are many chances that a single phishing campaign targets multiple employees within the organization. You will see some hosts on which this file was executed after getting downloaded and some hosts on which this file was only downloaded. You will perform the necessary actions on all these hosts and see a detailed timeline of events in the infected host. Okay, so when you click the view site button, which is this here, you perform a complete instant response after a phishing email hits multiple hosts in a network. You have the steps, or you have to follow the steps given in the site and answer the questions below. So go ahead and try that yourself, then come back to the video and we will go through this process. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Once you subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, so you know every time I post a new video. As you can see here, most people that view my videos, view my channel, are not subscribed. Now, if you do subscribe, it will help me get into the YouTube algorithm so that we can continue to grow our glorious community here. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch. Have a nice day and enjoy the video. What was the name of the malicious email sender? All right, so let's go ahead and follow along here. So we got Katie Smith here, upcoming company event. Dear team, we're excited to announce our annual company event, which will take place next month. Please mark your calendars and stay tuned for more details, etc., etc. Find Jeff Johnson's email and download it to, or download the attachment. So here's Jeff Johnson. It says, payslip for January. Hi, we have sent you the payment for the month of April. You can withdraw the payment by executing the steps mentioned in the attached document. Thanks. In regards, Jeff Johnson, Finance Advisor, PPC. Okay, so there it is. Downloading. And let's see here. Malware detected on the host. Take actions. All right, well, it says, what was the name of the malicious email sender, Jeff Johnson, as we saw there in the email. What was the threat vector? Obviously, it's an email attachment. It says it's a PDF, right? How many devices downloaded the email attachment? So let's go ahead and take a look here. It says instructions, quarantine the file in the host where it was not executed. All right, so quarantine. Okay, it says investigate the host, HKNV. All right, and you can see here there's a total of 3 hosts that this file had gotten downloaded it to. This is how like DDRs and such work, okay? And now we're going to click investigate. So don't forget to put 3 here for that one. How many devices execute the file? Well, we only know that this one did, which is why we're taking action to isolate it. Okay. Next one says how many devices. Oh, sorry. What's the flag found at the end of the exercise? So let's go ahead and continue on. Host isolated. You can now view the process timeline. And this is typically what it looks like. A lot of these EDR tools have these fancy looking timelines these days, like CrowdStrike, SentinelOne, Cybereason. I'm sure Microsoft Defender probably has something like this as well. But anyway, let's see here. You got Explorer.exe, Chrome. You can see that's downloaded from Chrome. File downloaded. Payslip.pdf. Executed PowerShell. Executed a malicious DNS query. All right. That's pretty funky. Why would a PDF be executing PowerShell, right? And making these weird DNS queries. So you should take that into account when you're doing the investigation processes, looking for odd activity. So let's finish the case. And that's it. There's the flag. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's get out of this here. That's pretty straightforward. Sometimes it can be very convoluted. Task number 7, conclusion. In this room, we learned about the different concepts of incident response. We studied how and when an event is categorized as an incident and the priorities given to different incidents. We also looked into types of incidents and frameworks of incident response, SANS and NIST, which guide us through handling an incident. Lastly, we saw some tools for incident response and carried out a realistic hands-on lab. Complete the room, which we've done, and we're done with this particular room. Now, obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, we just scratched the surface. If you are interested in incident response type work, be sure to do some Googling, use the chat GPTs, the AI chatbots to your benefit to help you improve your skill set in this area so that you can find a job in this particular area ultimately. Okay, and that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed the video, found it of value, be sure to hit the like button, comment below your thoughts and opinions on the information shared in the video, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell if you're new here so you know every time I post to the channel. And thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. Have a nice day, and I will see you later.